Hola clase, muy buenas tardes. Tonight we're going to talk about uses of por and para in Spanish, comparing and contrasting them. I'd like you to have a sheet of paper handy and a pen or a pencil, and as we go through the first examples of the uses of por, los usos de por, I'd like you to write down in each case, for each number, what you think por is being used for. Okay, how would you translate it, and what is it? What purpose is it serving in the sentence? Okay, and then at the end of these examples, we'll recap the uses of por, and then we'll do the same for para. So, uno. Remember that you can always pause your viewing to write down or jot down your notes. Uno. El chico camina por la ciudad. Luego decide correr por el parque. So how is por being used in these two sentences in number one? Dos. Yo viví en España por un año y el Dr. Prozac vivió en Francia por 2 años. Again, what is por being used for here? How is it being used? 3. Tú llegaste tarde por el tráfico. Luego no pudiste usar el internet por no tener conexión. Okay, we'll continue. 4. Voy al supermercado por los comestibles. Ella viene por mí a las 7. 5. Hablaron por Skype anoche. Se comunican por internet a menudo. Anteayer, el señor fulano trabajó por el Dr. Prozac porque él no estaba en la escuela. Te doy dinero por el iPod. Y 7. El Ferrari que tengo va a 300 kilómetros por hora. María dice 10 palabras por minuto, mientras Risa dice 1000 palabras por minuto. So, hopefully, this is what you came up with. For example number 1, both of those sentences used por to express the word through, around, along, or by. For example, you talk about going pasear por el parque, you're taking a walk through the park. Okay. In number 2, por was being used to express the duration of an action, for how long something was being done, or during, in that amount of time. Okay. 3, in number 3, the reason or motive for an action was being expressed by por. Okay, we were saying because of, on account of, or on behalf of by using por. In example number 4, we express the object of a search, okay, going to get something. In number 5, we express the means by which something was done, okay, by whom it was done, by way of, or by what method. We said por Skype, for example, by Skype. 6, we have an example of por being used to express an exchange or substitution. Okay, so if someone, for example, in one of the examples, el señor fulano trabajó por el Dr. Prozac. El señor fulano worked for me in my place. Okay, there was a substitution there. You could also, any kind of monetary exchange is going to use por generally. And then finally in 7, there was a ratio of, or a proportion or a unit of measure, okay, per or by. Okay. So the example that was given said that María dice 10 palabras por minuto. Okay, I talked about how many words per minute María says when she speaks. Okay. Okay, so here's some, estas son expresiones con por. These are very common expresiones comunes, very common expressions using por. Okay, just throwing these in on top. You're going to see these here and there. You should be familiar with them. Por aquí. Okay, repeat after me. Por aquí. Around here. Por ejemplo. For example. Por eso. That's why, therefore. Por fin. And por casualidad. As I mentioned, we will see these occasionally in the days to come. Now we're going to do the same thing with para. I'm going to walk you through a few examples. See on your piece of paper, jot down what you think para is being used for in each case. Okay, how is it being used in each of these sentences. 1. El domingo vamos para Madrid. Mis amigos ya salieron para el aeropuerto. Again, you can pause and write your answers. So take your notes. 2. Los estudiantes tienen que terminar los libros para el viernes. El mecánico va a arreglar el coche para el jueves. 3. Ustedes estudian para sacar buenas notas y aprender. Ella estudia para doctora. Okay. How is para being used in number 3? Number 4. Es un taller para los coches. Es una escuela para la gente discapacitada. 5. El portátil que compró tu madre es para ti. La manzana es para el profesor. 6. Para un chico pequeño es muy rápido y fuerte. Para vosotros este tema es muy fácil. Y 7. Yo trabajo para Moravian Academy. Tu hermana trabaja para el Hospital San Lucas. Okay, so in number 1, para was being used to express in the direction of, or to express toward. Okay, for example, in other words, you're giving a destination. Yo voy para Madrid. Okay, I'm going to or toward Madrid next week. Essentially, you're saying to. It's another use of para here. Okay, para is also used to express deadlines. Okay, para viernes próximo. It's also used to talk about the purpose or the goal of something, and is generally followed by the infinitive in this case. So, in other words, to say in order to. Para aprender el español. Hay que asistir a la clase de español. To learn Spanish, in order to learn Spanish, you need to attend Spanish class. O para aprender el español, tienes que ir para Madrid. Para is also used to talk about the purpose of something. Okay, so the example I gave you was es un taller para los coches. It's a garage for working on cars, or for cars. Okay, what's the purpose of that garage? Para los coches. Es una escuela para la gente discapacitada. Okay, maybe here we're talking about a school for people with disabilities. Okay. Move on. 5. You can also use para to talk about the recipient of something, okay, for whom something is going to be given or passed on. So, for example, el portátil que compró tu madre es para ti. Okay, the laptop that your mother bought is for you. La manzana es para el profesor. The apple is for the teacher. Okay, who's it going to be given to? We also use para to make comparisons. So in number 6, I give you the example of para un chico pequeño es muy rápido y fuerte. Okay, for a small boy, he is really strong and fast. Okay. And the final example in number 7 that we looked at was to talk about people being in the employ of other people. Okay, so in other words, when you talk about who you work for. Yo trabajo para Moravian Academy. I work for Moravian Academy. That's a good example. Okay. Por o para. Okay, I'd like you to read these out loud, and I'd like you to circle por o para. Okay, which would you use in each case, and take some notes on the side as to why. Which use of por or which use of para is the correct one here. Okay. Why did you choose por? Why did you choose para? Can you give me the reason using those usos that we just talked about for each one? Okay, so give it a try. You can pause here and work through this. Okay, on the screen, I'd like you to try to fill in the blank with por o para. Okay, and again, afterward, give your reason using the uses of los usos de por y para that we talked about here. Again, you can pause and write your answers on your sheet of paper to bring to class tomorrow. Okay, and again here, are you going to use por or para in each blank? Okay, and I'd like you to indicate to me why you chose what you chose, again, using los usos de por y para that we talked about in this presentation. Y esto es todo. Hasta mañana con sus hojas de respuestas. Adiós.